You may need to find and cite empirical studies in your research, but you might not know exactly what they are and how to recognize them. Empirical studies are those that collect primary data to answer a research question. Empirical literature documents experimental research, either quantitative or qualitative, that can be replicated. There's an initialism, a series of letters that can help you find empirical studies. Imrad. The letters IMRAD stand for the words that describe the sections of a scientific or empirical article, sections that usually fall in chronological order: introduction, methods, results, and discussion. Knowing to look for the Imrad sections is the key to being able to immediately recognize empirical research and distinguish it from other kinds of scholarly literature. This series of letters, while not as catchy as an acronym that might sound like something you already know, is not arbitrary. It represents the scientific writing process, which follows a logical progression. It introduces the topic and the research question to the reader, then proceeds to detail the author's work, the methods they employed, what they found, and what those findings mean. All of the indicators that a study is empirical are clearly visible in the Imrad sections. The introduction provides the why of the article, the question the author is attempting to answer. It gives the context, the reasons for the research being undertaken, and also offers exhaustive coverage of the related research on the subject that shows support behind the current experiment or study. This coverage is called the review of the literature, and it's considered part of the introduction. The methods section provides the details of the research, sufficient for replication by others. Sometimes this section contains a fairly readable version and puts all the detail into an appendix, so that readers who really want them can skip right to them. The methods section is where you find information about the study's design, subjects or participants, how they were selected, the data gathering procedure, the plan for analysis, and any considerations in carrying out the study. In the results section, the reader learns what the authors found. Did the questions get answered? Often, the results are laid out in graphs, charts, or tables. Analysis of the data is described here, along with the author's insights or discoveries. Any limitations of the study are presented here for clarity and transparency. The discussion section could also be called the So What section. Here's where the author explains what the results might mean and why the results matter. This is where the purpose of the research is connected to all the previous research mentioned in the review of the literature. It's in the discussion section where the author makes sense of the research and puts it into a context that is greater than the present study. This is where you might also find implications or suggestions for future research. Sometimes this section is followed by a conclusion section. So take a few minutes and memorize these 5 letters. They provide an easy way to recognize the format of an empirical study and save you time and worrying and wondering that you've found the right stuff. If you have questions about Imrad or want more help finding the information you need, contact your librarian.